There is a quiet moment in Philippians 4 that nobody preaches. Paul's in a prison, money's been tight, Philippians used to send him support. Then, for a season, they did not. The opportunity was not there. The pipeline went quiet. And then it came back. And then in this verse, Paul has to figure out how to receive support from people who let him go quiet for a while. He doesn't say, well, it's about time. He doesn't say, thanks for finally remembering. He doesn't pretend the gap didn't happen. He just rejoices, without making them pay for it. Philippians 4:10. But I rejoice in the Lord greatly, that now at length you have revived your thought for me, in which you did indeed take thought, but you lacked opportunity. Read that slowly, because Paul is doing something quite specific in this sentence. He says, I rejoice that you have revived your thought for me. That phrase, revived your thought, implies the thought had gone dormant for a while. He's not pretending, he's naming it. But then watch what he does next. He says, in which you did indeed take thought, but you lacked opportunity. He's giving them the benefit of the doubt. He's saying, I know you cared. I know you wanted to. The circumstances just did not allow it. The opportunity was not there. That's one of the most pastorally generous sentences in the New Testament. Because most of us, when we have been overlooked for a while and then suddenly remembered, do not respond like this. We respond with one of three other patterns. The first is bitterness. We make them pay for the gap. We're cold when they reach back out. We let them feel our coldness. The second is over-eagerness. We're so relieved to be remembered that we manipulate the relationship to make sure the gap never happens again. We become clingy. We ask too much. The third is fake gratitude. We say thank you, but we do not feel thank you, and the other person can tell. Paul does none of those. He rejoices in the Lord greatly. He gives them the benefit of the doubt. He moves forward without scar tissue. That is a skill. It's not a personality trait. It's a learned posture. For the worship team, this verse lands very specifically. You have had seasons where the church forgot you, where the senior pastor went quiet, where the team member who used to text you on Monday stopped, where the volunteer pool shrank, where the support, practical or relational or financial, went quiet. And then sometimes it comes back. The pastor reaches out, the volunteer signs up again, the friend sends the message. How you receive that return is its own spiritual moment. And Paul shows you the posture. You rejoice in the Lord, not in the human source. Paul doesn't say, I rejoice in you greatly. He says, I rejoice in the Lord greatly that they came back. The Lord is the source of the support, even when it comes through people. That is what keeps Paul from making the relationship transactional. And then you give them the benefit of the doubt. Most of the people who went quiet on you in your hardest season did not stop caring. The opportunity was not there. They were carrying their own weight. You did not see what they were navigating. When the support returns, let it return clean. So here's a question to sit with today. Who has come back into my life or my ministry after a gap, and what would it look like to receive them the way Paul received the Philippians? Let me pray. Lord, you are the source. Even when support comes through people, you're the one we rejoice in. Forgive us for the bitterness we have held over the seasons of silence. Heal the scar tissue. Help us receive what comes back without making anyone pay for what was missing. Form us into people who can let the support return clean. In your name, amen. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of the Formation to Transformation, a Worship Devotional podcast. It's been just an honor to hear from so many of you. I would just ask if you could leave me a rating and review wherever you're listening to this. And you can find everything else going on at formationtotransformation.com. You can get a link to my Substack and get set up on emails. And if you're going to share an episode, I so appreciate it. But would you head over to Instagram and tag me there? It's at Ryan Loche, RyanLoche. That's how you pronounce my name, by the way, Loche. So just for those of you interested. Anyway, thank you. I'm rambling. Thank you for being a part of this, and we'll see you in the next episode.